You know it, man. We don't sleep here over at WinDailySports.com. Just came off of 2 hours on Sirius. Now we're going to go in. We were just talking football. C and I were just talking football. But now I'm here with Dave. We're going to be talking about this MLB slate for Monday. Switching the conversation here. Make sure you check us out at WinDailySports.com. Like and subscribe to the channel. Got so much NFL content on the way. I was talking some week 1 DFS with Sia, but it's still knee deep in the MLB season. Trade deadline right around the corner. One thing I'll say, just as a fair warning, anybody could be traded right now. Any single body can be traded over the next 24, 48 hours. So keep in tune with the news, especially, Boston. I've heard rumors about Boston. We got Washington on the slate. So these are teams that might be dealing, but any team, any player can be dealt. So just keep on top of the news. Hop in our Discord channel, WinDailySports.com. We'll be on top of it. But look, Dave, Scherzer, I'm going to play him pretty much every time he goes out there because he's one of the most consistent pitchers, beast on the mound. He's going against Washington, soft lineup. This should be 7 to 8 Ks guaranteed, 1 earned run, 7 innings. He's the safest guy on the board, 10-6, pretty much locking him in for cash, even locking him in for GPPs. There's other spots you can get different. Any reason not to play Max Scherzer tomorrow?
No, absolutely not. I mean, you hit it all on the head already. I mean, the best part about Scherzer is obviously his output, right? He averages 24.5 DK points per outing. His lowest this year, 15.5. So if you put the floor down there, I mean, you're still going to get 1.5 return on your value. And I don't see he goes floor against Washington. This team's struggling up and down the lineup. Even the guy that's going to get traded or may get traded, Soto, I mean, he's batting under 250. It's a team there's a lot of things swirling in Washington. You could even see these guys get pulled mid-game or be out of the lineup before the game even starts, and that includes Josh Bell. So there's more reason to even attack a Washington team that's really struggling. I think Scherzer is in line for at least 20, probably high ceiling upwards of 30 too. So I like him. No reason not to play him.
Yeah, I like Scherzer up top. Look, John Gray, he's been, resurgent, been pitching great as of late, high K rate as well. 8.59, 8.7. Those are his K totals in the last 5 starts. Kind of pricey though. This is like the highest he's ever been, for my recollection at 9,700. But he's been doing it. Baltimore has been hot. I probably don't play Gray at this price. I'm gonna try to get a cheaper SB2. I won't talk you off Gray. If you can go Scherzer, Gray, love it. Heaney, I'm not gonna go on Heaney. He just doesn't have the pitch count to, really pay off a 9,500 salary here. Only 1 start that he just came back from 71 pitches. So, they're not trying to get this guy ready for, August. They want him in September and October. So he needs a pass for me. I'm not pitching Logan Webb against the Dodgers here. Garcia, he's kind of struggled, man. I know he is a stud. And look, if Boston trades people prior to this game and somehow there's no JD Martinez or Devers or Bogarts, I think Bogarts and Devers stay here. But Luis Garcia, he's in play at 8,600. I'm not in love with him. I'd probably go down to Clevenger at 8,300 over Garcia. And then one other name, there's not many other names I'll be throwing out there, but Domingo Herman, 6,400. He has the K upside. If he gets you past 5, he gets his pitch count. It is risky, but at 6,400, he's a guy that I got penciled in as a potential SP2, pairing with Max Scherzer. But, Dave, you got the court here. Who do you like as your SP2? Which guys do you think will be a good pairing with Max Scherzer?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think you're paying a little much if you go great, 9,700. I mean, it's been fantastic. Don't get me wrong. A 2.64 ERA since June 1st over the past 2 months. He's been just fantastic. You mentioned the K rate, 5 of his last 6 games, 7 Ks or more. So you're going to get value there. But Baltimore's sneaky. So 9,700 feels like a lot, especially if I have to pair him with Scherzer. So I'm with you. I'm taking a couple steps down that ladder, passing over Heaney, Webb. Garcia just throws too many pitches for me, and that Boston team can be a little, dangerous at times with Bogarts and Story. So I'm looking with you. I'm kind of in that range. If I'm going to pair them, I might go low. I like your idea of Herman. I also like Spencer Watkins a little bit. I know we talked about him a couple of weeks ago. He's been kind of coming around. Texas, 15th in batting average since July 1st, 16th in OPS, 17th in WOBA. So it's not a team that you really fear. I mean, a couple of bats, but that's about it. I think Watkins could be sneaky. We saw him get 19, 19.1, 20, and 19.7 in 4 of his starts until last one when he got 8. But one of those was against Texas, 6 2/3, 1 earned run, 3 Ks. He put up 20 points that day. So I think Watkins could be another sneaky SP2.
Yeah, especially if Corey Seager, look, he sat out on Sunday. If Seager's out, that's the one bat that I really fear in that lineup.
Mhm.
Everybody else is kind of okay, good, but a lot of it's below average hitters here. So if Seager's out, I can definitely see, Watkins being another option if you don't want to go Herman or you want to get out of that mid range with like a Clevenger, or a Luis Garcia here. Now, flip side of things, bats that we like. Look, the Yankees are great. Aaron Judge, probably the MVP here. He's going against the lefty, so the Yankees are going to be in play. And look, stay with the hot hand, man. The Astros are the Astros, man. This team, everybody. I was with a bunch of Yankee fans. I was down in New Jersey for a wedding, and all my boys are Yankee fans. They're scared of the Astros, man. I'm just telling you, they're scared of Verlander. They're scared of Yordan Alvarez and Altuve. And I'm assuming, Evaldi, who's been struggling, is probably a little bit worried about these Houston bats as well. So he faced Houston one time. He only lasted 1 2/3, 8 hits, 9 runs, 5 home runs. To let up 5 home runs and only get 5 outs, that's got to be a stat line you don't see too often. Like, you got 5 outs and you also let up 5 home runs. So look, not saying that's going to happen again, but the Astros are really good. They're swinging good bats here. So Astros and your Yankees are probably going to come in as the top 2 stacks of the slate. If you don't want to go that route, I think the Mets, against Corbin are in a nice spot. Marte's been hitting well. Alonso's been hitting well. And Corbin, he didn't get out of an inning in his last start. 7 hits, 6 earned runs against the Dodgers. Dodgers are a good team. Corbin has pitched, I guess, okay against the Mets. 13 innings, 20 hits allowed. 9 earned runs, only 1 home run, 8 walks. So he's a guy. Those are my 3, best stacks on the slate. But do you have any others that you're thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm with you on all those. And the only other one I'll throw in there is the Padres. When you look at Senzatella, his ERA on the road is just terrible. It's upwards almost 7. It's 6.57 to be exact. So he's way worse of a pitcher away from Coors Field, which is kind of odd and unique in its own way, as we know what Coors Field can be. But he did face the Padres once, had a decent outing, but they just came off a good series where they put up 16 runs. So I could see a situation where I look at guys like Profar, Cronenworth, Machado, I think there is reason to attack Senzatella. So that's another team I might kind of sprinkle in. But the Astros 1, Yankees 2, and I really like the Mets as well. Corbin's terrible on the road as well.
Yeah, I like those. It's 2 bets I put out on our Win Daily show on SiriusXM. I think this Boston game shoots over. I have the team total at 8. I like not the team total, the game total at 8. I think Boston can hit. Garcia is struggling. Obviously, Evaldi has struggled as well. So that's a team total I'm looking at. And also the Mets team total. I think they get the Corbin here. It's 4.5. The Mets have been hitting. I like that team right now against a lefty with Marte and Kana, Alonso. They should smash Corbin here. So I like that spot too. And I also noticed, we were talking about Herman earlier. His K prop is higher than most people would think. I saw that 5.5 earlier today. So if you get into it and you're worried about Herman here, Vegas thinks he's going to strike out a couple players. So at that price tag, I know there's some juice. You're getting some plus money at 5.5, but Herman is 5.5. So you're getting probably one of the cheapest pitchers on the slate with a 5.5 K total. If he gets over 6 Ks, you're in a great spot there. So I think that's a way you can look at the value. Don't forget to check your not only your money lines, but also your pitcher props, because they tell some of the story. John Gray has a pitcher prop at 6.5 right now. I'm not saying I like the over there, but he's probably going to have a good game there. Spencer Watkins, 3.5, a lot of juice,
like
minus 175. So it probably pushes up to 4.5 there, on that number. So they're expecting Watkins to get 4 Ks, potentially 5 Ks. Garcia, over 6.5. Look, he's struggled as of late. I kind of like the under there at under 6.5. And then Evaldi, his is 5.5, which kind of like the under there too. I think that both those guys can go under their K props. Any lines you're looking at? I know you put out an article pretty much every day at Win Daily, as regards to your DFS plays and also some props or some betting lines. Anything that you're looking at for Monday night?
Well, one other thing, and I like the Watkins over Texas 4th in K rate since July 1st. So if that spikes to 4.5, not sure. And the 3.5 juice, we'll see. But that one is definitely tempting there. I like it. I kind of like the Twins over their team total runs. Scooble just hasn't been very good. And, the Twins are starting to, get in a situation when we've seen them, they've been hitting well lately, and they got the full lineup, the full plethora, everyone in now pretty much healthy. Buxton's in here and there, but when he's in, he's been hitting home runs. So I kind of like the Minnesota team total over, which is 3.5. So we're going to be looking a little deeper into that, see how their splits are against lefties, but that's one that's catching my eye right now.
Yeah, we'll be placing more bets in our WinDailySports.com Discord. If you haven't hopped in the Discord yet, make sure you hop in there. Our entire team's in there. We're talking PGA, from Tuesday to Sunday, showdowns and regular slates. Talking MLB every single day. Our guy Jared's doing a great Prize Picks, video every day. He's pushing out articles every day along with Adam. We have so much NFL content coming around, UFC content for every fight, NASCAR content for every race. So make sure you check us out at WinDailySports.com. And we'll start seeing a lot more NFL content scrolling up at WinDailySports.com, season-long rankings. So you want to lock in with that. Dave, I hope you're going to be doing some NFL content as well, some shows, some
props,
bets, some plays, some props. I'm excited about our props. We're going to have a prop model up on Win Daily for the NFL season as well. So a lot of good things to come. Enjoy the rest of your summer, man, because football is coming quickly here. Hopefully it's still hot. We can go to some games early on the East Coast, but how are you feeling about your Eagles right now? We'll talk about football just for a second.
So, the 9.5 win total is being just hammered by a lot of people, and I agree with it. It's being juiced up to about 140 right now. I think the Eagles, have one of the deeper rosters in the NFC. They've done well to assemble a team, and the key to that, it really is Jalen Hurts, because you only have to pay a quarterback $1 million, $1.5 million. You can really build this roster that they have. So I think that's been one of the keys. He's obviously the big part of their success going forward, but having that roster depth, I think there's a lot of value in the 9.5. I'm looking at them to make the playoffs, make a little noise. I don't think they're as good as the best teams yet. I still think there's a decided gap with those NFC West teams, but they're going to be good.
Yeah, I was just talking to John. I had him on the Sirius show from the Sharp app, and his biggest edge right now for futures win totals in the NFL, surprising to some, was the over on the Cowboys. He had the Cowboys, shooting over their over, and also the Patriots on the over. And the unders, if I can remember correctly, were the Dolphins. And I can't remember the other team right now, but you can check it out over the Sharp app. He produces win totals, calculates the EV on all where he has it, where the market's at, where the juice is at. So great content over there at the Sharp app. So make sure you go download that. And I'm expecting some big things. I think the Giants are really interesting from a fantasy football perspective because nobody really knows what's going on with Saquon. Daniel Jones is a running quarterback, which, nobody classifies him in that running category, but he's out there running. And then guys like Tony that could have some real high upside in late rounds are kind of going overlooked as well. So going to be an interesting year. Debo signs his contract. DK signs his contract. I want no shares of DK. Debo's looking good. Elijah Mitchell, San Fran's looking good. And we're going to get some big news this week, not only from the NFL with Deshaun Watson's, that's coming probably in the next couple of days. There's going to be 6 games, 8 games, 12 games. We need to get news on Kamara, and there's going to be so much news from camp. Unfortunately, certain guys are going to get hurt, which is going to sway a lot of things. So if you're doing your season-long drafts, I always say wait. Wait till, the preseason games are done, all those practices are done, because it sucks taking like a first round or a second round and they get hurt in camp and you're really swimming uphill there. But last question I'll ask you, man. I've asked you the last couple of shows. Juan Soto, what names are going to drop? Who's going to make the big splash? What are we not expecting, surprise names that you think might get traded? Is it a JD or a Devers or a Bogarts or a guy that we haven't even heard? I don't know, Tani potentially going somewhere?
Yeah, and we saw kind of the first shoe or two drop recently with Castillo going, and I think that was a pretty pricey package. I think Cincinnati got a good return, getting one of the better prospects from the Mariners, one that was probably toe to toe with J-Rod going into this preseason. So it shows you it's going to be a little expensive to get some of these guys away. I think I still see Soto going, and the team I'm really keeping an eye on is San Diego. I just think they have the pieces. You're going to need 3-4 guys, and they can get Abrams in the deal. They can get Mackenzie Gore, and it really won't hurt where they are right now. So, and I think the offense is one area they need. So I'm looking there, and you said an interesting name. I mean, Bogarts didn't sign a long deal, and the Red Sox have been known to make some interesting moves, aka Mookie Betts going when he's at the prime of his career. I could see Bogarts out of those three that you mentioned as the one that could get moved quickly. I think his value is great. Top, third in the MLB in batting average. He's having a fantastic season.
Yeah, he's a stud, man. Last thing I heard that they don't want to move Bogarts and Devers, but if the right number comes across their table, I'm sure they'll make the move. JD looks like the guy who's going to go. Soto, I don't know anymore, man. I really don't know if this guy's going or staying. And I think surprising, like, for this year, I'm not saying career, so don't quote me on this, but like for this year, Josh Bell is the better hitter on that team.
Yeah.
Like today. Yes. Today, he's the better hitter. He might but Soto going to the team, he might bring back the Soto of old, kind of like what he did for the home run derby. I'm sure like he's not really trying as hard as he will once he goes in. And if he's going to a playoff team, I'm sure they're going to put pressure on him like, hey, we paid a lot for you. You better – you don't want to be bad on a good to great team that's trying to win a championship. So I'm sure he'll play up for that team. So interesting. I'll say some prayers before I go to bed tonight, and hopefully wake up to Ohtani on the Mets or Soto or one of those big names. And we got a big day on Tuesday too. DeGrom is going to be pitching on Tuesday, so might have to take the day off and just to watch that game and tell the family to go have some plans. That's going to be a good game to watch. So I hope he comes back healthy. Hope you Phillies are starting to look a little bit better than winning some games out there. So you guys you're still alive in August, man. So I hope you guys have a nice little run there. We'll see what happens. But everybody have a good Monday. Start your week off right. Hop in our expert chat at WinDailySports.com. And if you have any questions, always hit us up on Twitter at WinDailySports.